What's going on, my fly family? It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. Elle Duncan. Elle Duncan. She is really one of the reasons people have been calling for the old WNBA media coverage to disappear, man. We're about to get into it, but before we do that, y'all make sure you hit the thumbs up for your boy if you like the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 17.7, so if you can help me out with that, I highly appreciate it. And don't forget to get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think about this. Let's get it. This is probably going to be a 2-video thing because I did like what Stephen A. Smith and Shanae was talking about. But I wanted to point this out really quick because this was some of the most weirdest, feminist, nasty agenda I've ever seen put on ESPN, man. Now, if you all don't know, there is a silent kind of behind the scenes war going on with new people covering the WNBA and old people covering the WNBA. And, you know, a lot of the old WNBA people don't want the new people to be covering the WNBA, right? And going into this, I would definitely say Elle Duncan is a part of the old WNBA coverage team. And on this episode, right, first take, they were talking about, as you can see on the screen, Caitlin Clark passing up the idea of the three-point contest in the NBA. A moment in the episode became into kind of criticizing the NBA players for not competing, which I agree with, right? Stephen A. was all over their heads about it. As, you know, y'all know he's been saying it a few times, how they don't like to compete, yada, yada, yada. And Shanae beautifully brought it all together. And instead of smashing on the NBA, she just said how competitive the USA and All-Star game was last year, right? And was saying how the women compete, how they love to give a show, and how they care. Beautifully put together. No bashing at all. Shanae did a phenomenal job covering this whole situation and making it a win-win for the WNBA, everybody. Then, right after Shanae finished, Elle Duncan comes in with her disturbing, nasty take of this whole thing. Basically trying to make Caitlin Clark's decision a nasty feminist FU to the NBA. It's ridiculous, man. So just to show you how bad it was, this is ESPN's account, right? They posted this on YouTube, right? They posted this on YouTube. As you can see the E down here, ESPN, right? Now look what happens. Just stick with me. This is the original content posted on YouTube. Just stick with me.
Games, and I've seen a lot of games, women's basketball games,
and they competed.
Arike Ogunbowale got MVP. She had a crazy second half. Everyone competed. People are starting to appreciate the women's game for that approach because we understand what's at stake in this moment. And for Caitlin Clark to have the awareness to drive the eyeballs there, you have to give her so much credit for that.
Okay, you saw how it skipped right there? That is where Elle Duncan came in with her crazy, asinine statement, right? Now, fortunately, I was recording from the TV because I felt like something like this would happen, okay? So I actually have the footage.
And for Caitlin Clark to have the awareness to drive the eyeballs there, you have to give her so much credit for that.
And then the reason why is because these women know that every opportunity they have on this platform, they have to ball out because they have to completely turn around tropes or ideas or narratives or discourse. Like all of that is always on their shoulders, which is why not only do I think that this move by Caitlin Clark is the right move, I think it's incredibly empowering because Shanae, Stephen A., when we watched that three-point contest last year in the NBA and we all enjoyed it and it was so much fun, what did immediately those of us in the W space say? All right, Steph, now return the favor and go do the same thing at the W, right? In years past, for generations past, women had to legitimize being mainstream by being validated in a male space. And now Caitlin Clark is saying that my power and cachet is not for loan. I am going to go and improve the league that I believe in and care in. And the idea that she said, I'm going to make sure the first three-point contest I participate in will be the W one. She didn't do it last year. Lord knows she was tired and didn't want to, right? Like it took everything she had just to get through that game, and she was fantastic. But I a one-on-one in many ways, and we understand that. So not everybody has that ability, that cachet, and all that clout to move the needle, to draw those kinds of ratings. But what I hope that it does is empower the next generation, the Paige Beckers, the Juju Watkins behind her, the Hannah Hidalgos, who are undoubtedly going to be these huge names, to also understand their own power and cachet and clout and say, I am no longer going to appear on your male mainstream things. I'm going to make my space bigger. You don't need the Caitlin Clark bump, but the W could absolutely use it. So I am so glad that she's doing this.
As a point of faith.
Do you hear how absurd she sounds? She was trying to act like that Sabrina moment and Steph moment was a favor for just the NBA. That was a favor for the WNBA too. Sabrina definitely got her name out there more. Sabrina definitely brought more fans to the Liberty. The NBA needs that. And she was talking about at the end how the W needs to bump. The NBA needs to bump too. It was just as much as a favor for the W as it was the NBA. She started talking about women had to be legitimized and validated in a man's sport or man's space. Maya Moore was never validated in a man's space. She was validated in a woman's space. Caitlin Clark, validated in a woman's space. Lisa Leslie, validated in a woman's space. What are you talking about? Then she started bringing up how, it's empowering. Caitlin Clark knows her power cachet, and she hoped Juju Watkins and Hidalgo, Paige, all these other players actually understand their power cachet and demand things, basically. Elle, did we forget who the boss is? Did we forget that the WNBA is being subsidized right now? If we want to be technical about it, Adam Silver can really put his hand and foot down and say, hey, Caitlin, you're playing in this three-point shooting contest thing. I don't care what you say about it. The NBA players, the WNBA players, they're being allowed to make these decisions. Adam Silver has the last say-so. There's no real power if you really want to be technical. Now, Adam Silver is a good guy. He's going to allow them to make these choices. But if he was an a-hole, then she brought up, I'm not going to bring my presence to your male platform, mainstream things. I'm just going to put it on your male subsidized female mainstream thing. So for her to come out here and try to add such divisiveness amongst men and women in basketball is ridiculous. And when I think about it, men have been supportive of the WNBA since the league existed. But I tell you what's not supportive, when you get Rakia Jackson making videos like this.
Best dressed NBA player.
I don't watch the MNBA.
They literally have a saying of MNBA. Come on, fam. Elle, this was one of the most egregious takes I've ever heard from you. It's disappointing, man. Your body language, your tone, all of it showed that your agenda was really nasty in this take, which is why ESPN took it out. In this take, it definitely seemed like she wanted to push some type of feminist, I'm better than men, women are better than men type of take. Just ridiculous, man. This need to stop. This is what people are tired of seeing. Stop trying to make it a gender thing. It's not a gender thing. It's a entertainment skill thing. That's what it is. Let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about this. I love y'all. Y'all keep it smooth.